So what if all of those emails and Loom videos that you've been sending to potential prospects to work with actually started generating positive responses and booked calls into your calendar? Or better yet, instead of doing all of that outbound outreach, if you actually built inbound systems to have prospects booking calls with you directly and actually being pre-sold on your offer, and once they jump on the call, they're pretty much ready to get started. Because these are the concepts that we're going to be walking through today. And it's something that I'm very excited to be sharing with you guys, because I know for a lot of agency owners, it's this feast or famine type of mentality where, sometimes lead generation is pumping really good and you're generating a lot of calls, and sometimes there's just nothing actually happening. And this is something I myself experienced at my own agency, especially when we were a full service agency. Sometimes DMs and emails were doing very good. Sometimes we weren't getting responses for months on end. But it wasn't until we found very good approaches inside of the outbound side of things and actually built inbound systems that help generate traffic coming to us who was pre-sold and qualified for our offer that we struggled, right? So until we established those systems, it was very feast or famine. Now, before we dive into today's topic, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Domenic. I run two different agencies, one being a Google Ads agency where we serve e-commerce brands and local businesses with their Google Ads, and the other one being a coaching business where we actually consult agency owners themselves on how to fill up their calendar with appointments that are qualified and of course pre-sold on their unique offers. My big belief is that we would rather teach you how to fish instead of fish for you. Unlike a lot of these lead gen agencies that will spend $5,000 to $10,000 a month on ads just to generate you 30 to 40 calls a month. But for us personally, we would rather show you and give you all of the frameworks, the procedures, everything for you to implement it into your own agency, and then you can actually go off and just continue to sustain those results for the time to come. Now, without further ado, let's jump into today's topic, which is going to be helping you fill up your calendar with more qualified and pre-sold leads. Now, the very first channel that you need to figure out for yourself is outbound emails. First things first is you should not be sending these emails that have just massive paragraphs in them. If you think about when you open up an email on a Monday morning, the last thing you want to do is read a novel of an email, something that has a bunch of chunky paragraphs on it and something that just looks overwhelming and intimidating. So make sure you shorten up that text and actually keep each break in your email to about one sentence. Now, the second thing that I want to steer you away from is actually using calendar links in the first email that you're sending to prospects, because all this is going to do is just send you straight to spam and your prospects won't even get to see your email inside of that inbox. Now that you know what not to do, let's talk about what to do. And what you should be doing is actually utilizing more personalization within your guys' emails. And you can use this by using softwares like quicklines.ai, Loom, or even RepliQ so that you can help send personalized emails to your prospects that actually resonate with them and draw in more attention. I'll actually link those softwares in the description below. I'm not affiliated with these softwares by any means, but we use them in my agency and I can confidently stand behind them. The next thing that you should be focusing on with your emails is be asking for the prospect's permission to send over more value in the first email. This is way better because it gets the prospect saying yes sooner in the sales journey, and it actually shows them that you're not just there to pitch them or sell them something. It actually allows them to engage first and then actually allow you to send over that piece of value. And my last tip for your outbound emails is to start trying to communicate your offer in a different way. You may guarantee a very specific type of result for all of your clients, but the thing is you can actually communicate that offer in various different ways. And once you start split testing the different ways to communicate your offer, you're actually going to see that what you communicate begins to resonate in a deeper sense with different prospects. So once you find out that a certain way of communicating your offer is working very, very well, you can actually go ahead and start running that at scale with your emails. Now, the second sales funnel that you need to establish within your agency to start booking more qualified calls is a website or sales funnel. And this doesn't matter if you have case studies or you don't have case studies. This website or sales funnel is going to work very similar to each other. The fact that you even have a website or sales funnel is just going to show prospects that you are serious about your business and that you are legitimate. A lot of business owners these days will usually ask people if they have a website just to make sure that they actually are a business or are legitimate inside of the industry. But the big thing with a website that you really need to focus on is collecting prospect contact information, specifically their name, email, and phone number. And what that's going to allow you to do is once you collect all that information, you can either yourself or have an appointment setter reach out to those people who are opting in, and you can pre-qualify them over the phone so that you can see if it makes sense for you to actually jump onto a discovery call with them and book them in for a future call to actually see if working together is a good fit. This is exactly what we did in my agency once we transitioned from just a very strict VSL funnel that relied on the prospects to actually book in a call themselves. Now we actually just collect their information and dial them up right away. And then once we have their information, we can pre-qualify them on that phone call. I highly recommend that you actually try this yourself first before hiring an appointment setter. That way you can build some of the systems, get a hang of it, and then you can train an appointment setter on how to do this down the road. All right, now the last thing that you need to implement into your agency to generate more qualified calls into your calendar is combining both a content strategy with an appointment setter. And you can leverage this exact same strategy on many various different social media platforms. But the main thing here is you need to create two different kinds of content, one being more entertainment focused and one being more educational focused. Entertainment focused content typically gets more shares and will usually reach a larger volume of audience. Whereas on the educational side, you're going to nurture your audience who already follows you, and you're going to give them more of a reason to stay consuming your content. Now, the key here is to make sure that you set yourself up for success and create content in an efficient manner so that you don't overwhelm yourself or burn yourself out with daily content creation and editing approaches. Me personally, I typically carve out one day every single week, which is usually my Friday, where I just schedule it out so that I can create all of my content and have it edited for the next week. But you have to realize that content creation nowadays is even more important than it ever used to be, just because so many people are consuming content on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, even YouTube Shorts. So if you're not creating content, you're basically just going to be washed away and not even taken seriously from a lot of these prospects who are also being reached out to from other agencies just like you, who do have content being posted and do look more credible online. Now, once you start creating your content and sharing it consistently, what you can have done is actually have your appointment setter or yourself reach out to all the new followers or all the new people that are engaging and liking your content. And don't try to sell people on your offer or service right away. Give it some time, take a few days to actually get to know that person and identify what it is that they need. Because the biggest thing that I see people doing here, which is so wrong, is they try to book in the call right away without even understanding who that prospect is, what their needs and wants are, and if you can actually even help them. And in terms of how much you should be posting, I'd highly recommend you starting off with about 2 to 3 posts per week on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. But once you start getting really serious about content creation and start to see the massive amount of results that it actually generates, you'll probably want to ramp things up to about 1 post every single day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is literally it. If you establish these systems into your agency, I can guarantee you that you will begin seeing more than 20 qualified and pre-sold calls being booked into your calendar every single month. And I can say this very confidently because it's exactly what we did when we transitioned from a full service agency to just a Google Ads agency in the recent year. And one of our students, Thizan, who applied this exact same model to his own agency, had no clients and came in and within 2 months of working with us, actually scaled up to 6 clients in his agency. And that was with no previous case studies or no testimonials from the past. So trust me, these systems work very well if you know how to establish them and you know how to build them inside of your business. So if you're looking to have these exact same systems installed into your agency, just scroll down, click the link to book in a scaling session, and we'll see if working together is a good fit and if we can actually even help you. I hope this video helps you book more calls into your agency, and we'll see you guys in the next one.